Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roller desk, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah. Roller desk, you pullin', now you know.
Ooh, and we're back. We gotta make another theme song, bro. We do one. We didn't. By the way, I feel like at this point we kind of like we have to keep the fire coming with the theme songs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like the first one was really fire. Second one really fire. I don't know what we're gonna do for the third one. G. I'm not even gonna lie. I might have to start drinking again for a night. Don't get me wrong, I ain't stopped, but I might have to start going back to the old school. You dig? Where we get annihilated and then we make some dope music.
Gotta make a song called Player Option.
I had to put on the play option.
No. I put on a team option. Player option means she decided. That's not what we're going for here.
If you got the right one, shit. If you got the right one, you would give her a play option.
Okay.
And actually low key, I actually kind of like my new setup. I got me a new futon in my office. So it's kind of nice, actually. I can sit here with this wireless joint and talk on the show. This is kind of nice. I kind of like this.
I fuck with it. It's a vibe.
I mean, do I sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, man, we here. We live. We back. Like Craig Mack with the flavor in your ear. There's been a lot of NBA action that happened within the first 24 hours of free agency. So we're going to touch on that. But I guess we should go ahead and for the opening, we should actually talk about the draft. I would love to hear your opinions on what you thought about this year's draft and kind of what you thought about the overall draft as an experience. It was obviously year 75, so they tried to put a little bit more emphasis and make it a little more special in terms of like how they did things with the, like the photos and stuff. Like usually it's like a solid background or some kind of material. This year, like this gold shimmering stuff in the background, jewels hanging in a gold and like a silver ball with like jeweled out ball for year 75. So I think the NBA is really going to put an emphasis on this year as a whole. Also, they're going to be redoing their top 50 lists and doing a top 75 all-time list instead. So what were your overall thoughts of the NBA draft, essentially kicking off this new NBA season? And then we can go ahead and we can talk free agency.
I thought the draft was cool. When I look at the draft, I don't really see any teams that I think made complete mistakes. I think that teams for the most part had, I think, clear visions of what they wanted to do. If I had to pick, like, I guess, biggest winners, obviously the Pistons. I think picking up Cade Cunningham and picking up a guy who seems like he actually wants to be in Detroit, because I don't think most people get drafted in Detroit and want and seem to embrace the culture that way. So I think that's a win already. Just knowing that you have a guy that you can build around who seems to be a future superstar in the league that actually seems like he wants to be there and doesn't mind being in Detroit. Also, they probably haven't had a player they can get.
I want to have a conversation about Cade Cunningham as well. And I don't mean it to be disparaging when we have this conversation, but I do want to have it after we finish.
Okay. I don't think they've had a player probably that they can get excited about since Grant Hill. I don't think so.
I'm not mad at that.
So, I mean, I think that was great. I think the Rockets probably had the best draft out of like anybody. Number one getting Jalen Green. I think I've said, I think Cade is a more sure pick. And if I was like picking from my job, I would pick Cade. But I also do think that Jalen Green has the most potential upside out of anybody in this draft. Also, I like the other picks they made. Josh Christopher, they got the guy from Spain. I cannot pronounce his name. I saw his highlights. He looks crazy on defense. They also picked up the guy from the rookie from Turkey, 18 years old. I think analytically he had one of the best seasons in EuroLeague history. Like just putting up 18-8 and being a Turkish League MVP. For people who don't know about Euro basketball, people don't usually average 18-8 overseas like that. So yeah, man, I think it was a great draft. I think the product was great. Even when I look at that draft, I think Richard Jefferson said somebody don't like the broadcast. It felt like one of those drafts, like one of, not trying to compare, but it felt like a 2003, like one of those kind of like drafts where, you may see some guys who come in and really kind of change the face of the league. So, I mean, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a good product to just watch. and it was cool to me. Like I said, I don't see any teams. I'm like, what the hell were you doing? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think this year's draft was probably I think we saw. How do I put this? I think we saw the most parity in terms of talent, in terms of there being like general talent throughout the draft. I think some years are a lot more front loaded than they are. Some years are more middle loaded, and then some years you really just kind of looking for sleepers only. So I think this year was much more of a very even draft where literally people that I wanted to go in the second round, I thought would be good backups for teams if they could actually get drafted by a team and make that team. Versus like years before, when we get in the second round, I'm usually like tuning out because the talent isn't there. And I know the Spurs or somebody like the Thunder are going to randomly draft somebody in the second round and it'll be cool or whatever. But overall, it's just kind of usually I tune out in the second round. This year, the draft talent was really honestly extremely consistent all the way up until like 25 is when I really started to not necessarily see, quote unquote, the general talent kind of jump off the board. And even some of the guys that were getting taken late, seem to be some players that the analysts that were sitting up there for ESPN and Kendrick Perkins were talking about because he was offering no analysis, bro. He definitely was not offering zero analysis.
Evan Mobley
would be Bill Russell.
I'm like, bro, of all the people, you had so many other people you could have went to. You chose Bill Russell.
You do good though.
Bill Russell, bro. Why you put that on Evan Mobley like that, bro? Why you do that?
He ain't putting nothing on him. Do you think that Evan Mobley heard that clip and was like, yeah, I'm going to be Bill Russell?
Maybe. You never know.
Man, if Kendrick Perkins is a thing that convinced Evan Mobley to become Bill Russell, then so be it, G. I'm just going to be honest with you. But what I will say about this draft that is unfortunate, I don't feel the same way you guys feel in terms of superstar talent in this draft. I just personally... Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge college basketball fan, but I do try to watch these guys' tape. And although I didn't get a chance to watch a ton of tape before the draft, I went back after the draft, having known where everybody was, and rewatched everybody's like tape for like the majority of those picks one night, like including the top 10. I watched some of Sharif Cooper's. I watched the guy from Spain that you were talking about that got drafted. I watched the guy that got drafted to OKC from Australia. Josh Giddey. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the players that I watched in the draft, I was honestly very largely unimpressed by everybody. And this is gonna sound mad weird, but Sharif Cooper and Josh Giddey, those were the only two talents that I watched from that draft tape where I was like, yo, this dude jumps out to me like he gonna be crazy in the NBA. And also Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, I think, will be good in the NBA because I think he will eventually turn into like a slasher wing and go crazy. I don't really think he has a shot yet. So I think what they're going to force him to do is just create drive opportunities at the rim and create plays and contact at the rim. So I'm looking at Jonathan Kuminga as being a guy that I think is going to be a star. The rest of them guys, I was looking at them, and honestly, I was very largely like, nobody literally jumped out of the building to me. Like when people talk about this draft being that kind of draft, I'm like, I didn't see no LeBrons. I didn't see no D Wades. I didn't see no Chris Bosh. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't see any Carmelo Anthony's in this draft. And I like Cade. I actually think Cade Cunningham, and I'm going to say this now. Cade Cunningham is going to be one of the greatest broadcasters in the history of broadcasting. Cade Cunningham, remember I said this. Cade Cunningham is going to be one of the greatest broadcasters in the history of sports broadcasters one day, if the world don't end. And I'm not joking. That dude has an incredible voice. He talks about basketball and sports in a way that like he seemingly like simplifies it a little bit. And his attitude and his moxie create for interesting conversations. Like when they were talking to him, honestly, them talking to him made me more impressed than watching his tape did. Because when they were talking to him, I'm like, all right, this dude is really, really smart. He's very, very articulate. I think he actually knows the basketball floor because he seems like he's very knowledgeable overall. I think he will do.
Bird. I was like, okay, I guess you're gonna be good, bro.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you're actually mentioning and talking like you giving more basketball analysis than Kendrick Perkins is giving.
Yeah.
And you the number one pick, 20 years old. So that honestly more impressed me about him more than like his tape. His tape doesn't jump off the board to me. Like he's not a physically dominant player to me. He's not a generational scorer to me. I think he is going to be a very, very good playmaker, and he's going to be able to score. I honestly see him being more of like a Jamal Mashburn point guard hybrid. That's what I see for him. I don't think he doesn't jump off the tape to me as being like people talking about him like he could be a top 50 player all time. I'm like that. These comparisons, I don't really see them. They don't necessarily jump off. So it's not for me to be disparaging because I don't have anything negative to say about Cade Cunningham or his game for that matter. I just don't necessarily. People talk about this draft as if there was a LeBron, a D-Wade, a Chris Bosh, a Carmelo Anthony in this draft. Even did Kirk Hinrich get drafted that year by the Bulls?
Yeah, he did.
Perennial vet. I don't see this level of perennial NBA high level play talent from a lot of these guys. I think a lot of these guys will be future G League stars, which I think is good for the NBA because then they'll be able to sell the G League product.
I mean, I disagree. Like, for instance, Cade, I expected you to disagree, by the way. That's just my personal analysis. And also, I will say this. Jalen Green's game, I did like Jalen Green's game because his game is not compact, and he also has a flow. Like, he looks like he flows when he plays basketball, but he's a person, he's already got 1 million followers on Instagram. I hope that the NBA doesn't take him. I feel you.
Do you know what I mean? Not the league, the lifestyle, because I do believe that he is already a celebrity and he acts like he is a celebrity. And I love confidence. Don't get me wrong. Bron knew he was a celebrity too, but he's not Bron. Go ahead.
Even his suit, to put on that and wear that shit to the draft, clearly you are confident. Now that can go two ways. You can be overconfident, or you can be, you just think that you can do anything, which can go either way. As far as Cade goes, I think also last year was just a weird year in college basketball. Really weird year. Like, it was COVID. The tournament was kind of weird. Like, even people like Duke, like even a guy like Jalen Johnson. If Jalen Johnson goes to Duke in a regular season, I think Jalen Johnson probably a top 10 draft pick. But it's a weird year, like COVID, people was going in and out. The stands weren't full. And also with college basketball, like the reason why I think Jalen looked so good in the G League was because I think it was more NBA style. Cade is a guy who probably needed. I think he is a guy just like saying I said with Anthony Edwards. I think their games will open up when they get to the NBA because there's just a little bit more space on the court for them. And also, what impressed me about Cade was the fact that, like you said, he went vegan at 16. For you to make that decision about your health and about your body at 16 years old, to me, that showed that you're a very mature human being. Like you said, I ate McDonald's and came back like, bro, I can't eat this no more. I'm going vegan. For you to take that much care of your body, at least that shows me, I'm assuming barring injury, you will be around 10, 15, 20 years because you know about taking care of your body so young. But like I said, I think this would be a great draft. I'm with you on Josh Giddey. Anybody who's 6'8" and can play the point guard position, I'm rocking with it, especially when they're from overseas now, because it seems like how talent coming from overseas. And like I said, I think the Houston Rockets had a really, really good NBA draft. I think they got about 4 or 5 people. I think they got at least 2 starters.
Yeah.
And I think they set their franchise up on a better course than what it was before.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. The one team I am mad at is the Cleveland Cavaliers, bro. Like, once again, what on God's green earth are you doing? And I saw some people earlier saying that Evan Mobley has the defensive, ability to be able to guard, some guards and some wings on the perimeter. But my Lord, you're going to run out a lineup of what? G? You still have Kevin Love on your team, bro. You still have Kevin Love on your team. You just gave Jared Allen $100 million for 5 years. And then you got Evan Mobley. Like, I understand they probably going to get Kevin Love up out of there. But you're going to run, what, you going to run Mobley at the 2?
No, the 4. He's a fucking.
I'm sorry. Not the 2. I meant the 4.
But like here,
I was thinking 3-2 and instead of 4-5. My bad.
Here is why I don't mind.
I meant Allen 5, him 4. Who's that 3?
Isaac Okoro,
and then they still have Colin Sexton and Darius Garland.
Yeah, but
that's a terrible lineup. G. You getting smoked.
Yeah, but that's why I don't mind what they did, especially because look, I've said many times I think Colin Sexton should be a 6-man. I don't know if they agree with me. I don't know what's going on, but I think he's up for contract extension if I'm not mistaken this season. So if you're gonna hang on to Colin, which you can make a great case, you should. Like Colin has a case for $100 million contract. Reason being is why he goes out there, averages 20 points, shoots
20.
about 20, and also he shoots about 45% from the field, around 40% from three. Like he has a case that he can get $100 million. Like he's a good player. I don't think he's a superstar or a star, but he's a very, very good player. I think he's best served as a 6-man. But to me, it seems like
I was about to say something mad disrespectful to somebody.
Who?
No, because remember we was having that argument earlier at the studio about Zach LaVine, and if he just deserved to be a max player, and I was like, yeah, and I was just thinking like his value is like a little bit more than Colin Sexton.
Yeah, you see, get off that bullshit with Zach LaVine, G.
I'm not on bullshit. Why do you always say I'm on bullshit with Zach LaVine?
You have to be
stopped. I want greatness. I don't see no greatness.
But look,
I don't see greatness. Go ahead, continue. My bad.
Like Garland is 6 feet, Colin is 6 feet, Okoro is like 6'5", meaning you're gonna need a whole bunch of rim protection because your 1 through 3 is super small. So I actually like pairing Evan Mobley with Jared Allen. Like you put 2 trees down there because look, my guard's probably gonna get beat like hell. So we just gonna put 2 trees down there. So if you get to the paint, good luck making a shot over them too. And they say Evan Mobley's game will be able to stretch out eventually at some point. And also, I think they're trying to just replicate what they were trying to do as well. Like when they had Drummond and when they had Kevin Love, you had 2 bigs who you thought could dominate inside. Like you thought, okay, we at least got the best. If nothing else, we got the best rebounding front line in the NBA. Now it didn't work out like that because Kevin Love decided to just not play, and the Drummond situation didn't really work out. But I get what they're trying to do, and I like the draft pick. That being said, I do think he also has probably the highest bust potential as far as the people that were drafted. Him and probably out of the top 5, him and probably Suggs. Just because of the situation. I'm not mad at that. Just because of the situations that they're going to.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. But I do like the pick. Because, I mean, you look at what else, like, what you going to do? You can pick Scotty Barnes. Like, no, you definitely not picking Suggs because you got 2 guards already. Like, why am I picking Suggs?
Yeah.
If I pick 2 guards in the lottery, Barnes, you want to play him at like the 3-4. But we got Isaac Okoro that we also picked in the lottery, who is probably I personally think he should play the 2 and Collins should be off the bench and they should go and find a 3. But I don't think that's what they think they should do. So judging on what they think they should do, they're putting him at the wing. So it's like they made the right pick considering where they were at. Unless you were going to trade the pick, I just think that considering the situation, because going to Cleveland, it's always hit or miss.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think the Cavs, to me, still, I have no idea where they're going, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead. Let's do some free agency talk. I am very, very, very quickly going to run through all of the free agent signings that we have seen so far today. So these signings are according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Nerlens Noel re-signed to the New York Knicks on a $32 million contract for 3 years. We have Jared Allen signing a 5-year, $100 million deal contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have Kelly Olynyk signing a 3-year, $37 million deal with the Detroit Pistons. We have all-star NBA guard, hold on. I'll be right back. You can talk about some other people, free agent signings. I got to see if I still got this clothing article in my possession because we got to talk about this one guy.
Okay.
Where is this shit
at? But no, I mean, the first day of free agency was exciting. Like, I mean, I remember, growing up, I don't remember free agency being this much of a much of a spectacle growing up. Like it kind of just happened over the all season. Like you heard about the signings, but I don't really remember, sitting up waiting on, free agency to start. Like I was there. I think I was driving home and like, luckily I'm on the 405 and it's traffic, but I'm literally updating my phone every 5 minutes to see if anybody got signed yet. I think it's a great spectacle for the league. It makes it, like I said, like literally the season just ended, but I don't feel like anything ended. Like the season ended. Okay, there's not any more games, but then there was the draft the next week. You go right into free agency, then you back with more games because you had summer league. So yeah, I think the first day was exciting. I think the Bulls are a team that if you're a Bulls fan, you had to be excited. I think that they covered some of the things that they were missing, which I think was perimeter defense. I think I love adding Caruso, especially with losing Chris Dunn last year. Chris Dunn did average, I think, 2.1 steals. I think he actually led the league in steals percentage. So losing him last year and replacing him with the guy like Caruso, who also, unlike Chris Dunn, hilarious, who also unlike Chris Dunn.
It ain't a black one, but I got one. It ain't a black one, but I got one. We got to talk about this man, Ski Mask Mike Conley, G. 3 years, $72.5 million, boy. That man has had one All-Star appearance.
It's not that, like, look, I knew he was going to get the money. It's just that, like, he has amassed, like, over $200 million in his NBA career at this point. That is crazy.
With one All-Star appearance, G.
With one All-Star appearance. Now, granted, he has been a solid guard for many years.
I respect it.
But for one thing, even like this in the playoffs,
Chris Paul, all ski masks.
I'm not gonna say Chris Paul is ski mask because
he got $450 million from the NBA.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That man got $500 million from the
NBA.
Ain't
got no championships. They got one finals appearance.
$500 million. Low key, does he have the highest career earnings or
no? It's Bron.
KG.
It's Bron.
I don't think Bron got the highest career earnings, bro. Because remember, Bron I think never got a max until I think LA, or maybe it was second time go around in Cleveland. Remember in Miami, he didn't get the max. He took less than the max.
According to Spot Track, it's LeBron James. He made $387 million, and then it's Chris Paul at $326 million currently.
KG?
And KG is he down there now. Mike Conley done made more money than KG. Mike Conley is the 13th highest paid player in NBA history. Behind him is John Wall, then Kevin Love, then Al Horford, then Dwight Howard, then Blake Griffin, then Steph Curry, then Carmelo at 6, Harden at 5, Russ at 4, KD at 3, Chris Paul at 2, LeBron at 1. Crazy.
Shout out Mike Conley, man. Shout out Mike Conley. Mike, get to the bag, Conley.
No, hold on, wait a minute. No, I think this might just be this year. Hold on.
I don't think that's career. Well, it
says through 2021.
It may be because
KG made 3. Oh, let me see this shit. All right, here we go. Okay, never mind. Here we go. We got LeBron 1, KG 2 at $334 million. We got Chris Paul at $326 million. Kobe at $323 million. KD at $306. Russ at $288 million. Shaq at $286 million. Harden at $268 million. Melo at $259 million. Steph is number 10 at $254 million. And then Blake is $253. Blake, ski mask, G. Ski mask. But no. Get this shit out of my face.
But also the thing about Mike Conley is that Mike Conley hasn't proved to be able to stay healthy when it matters as well. Like even this year, like you wonder what the Jazz could have done if Mike Conley was just out there on the court. Like he wasn't there.
I mean, that's a lot of times.
Yeah, like he wasn't there. But I think the biggest head scratch is
Gordon Hayward is the 25th highest paid player in NBA history.
That's crazy. But I think the head scratch for me is Evan Fournier. Why?
Huh?
I think the biggest head scratch for me today is
Who signed Evan Fournier?
The Knicks for 78.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking you talking about Evan Turner. I'm sorry.
No. I think Evan Fournier was the biggest head scratch for me.
I have no idea what they was doing in New York.
I think the Knicks spent $100 million today. They spent $100 million in like 6 hours
on Derrick Rose, Nerlens Noel, and Evan Fournier,
and Alex Burke.
And Alec Burks, G. Like, they really just said, fuck it, we're going to run it back.
Like, I think.
Where is Evan Fournier getting you to? The second round?
Is he getting to the second round?
No, I don't understand it, bro. They might as well get Schroeder $100 million.
Like, I actually. By
the way, he ain't getting no money.
Yeah, the market collapsed on Schroeder.
They say only the Rockets got cap space left.
Nah, I think it's the Spurs, the Hornets, and one other team.
Not going to the Hornets.
Because the Rockets don't have no cap space left. The Rockets are in cap hell, actually. John Wall taking $50 million a year. They ain't got no money left.
Yeah. How do I say goodbye
also,
to Schroeder's
contract?
That was fucked up, but I will say this. He bet on himself. Because didn't they offer him an extension?
They offered him $100 million during a year. Or no, 84. I think they offered him 4 for 84. And he was like, nah, I want a max. I don't know what made him think he was getting $100 million. You're not getting $100 million, Dennis Schroeder.
And also, and then they like, all right, bye, we're going to get Russell Westbrook. Like, bro, come on, Schroeder. What was you thinking, G? They the Lakers, bro.
Now, what do you think about the Lakers move so far?
I think the Lakers have signed, they've signed Wayne Ellington. They signed Dwight Howard. They've signed Kent Bazemore and Trevor Ariza. I don't know, bro. Like, everybody playing every night?
I mean, I think I think they're building their team.
Shea just re-signed on the max.
Who?
Shea.
Okay. That was kind of expected.
Yeah. You got to run a show, by the way. My computer mouse just died, so click the buttons.
All right. But, yeah, like, I mean, as far as the Lakers, like, I mean, I like what they tried to do.
Trae Young got a max, too. 5 years, $207 million.
And shout out Trae Young.
Oh, damn, Trae Young signed a clutch, too? Boy, this man LeBron, like, and let LeBron, what you tweaking for? You got a whole arm around you. Bitch, you got some niggas ready to crash. Because legit, G, bro, I swear to God, LeBron literally, he fucked the NBA so hard, G, like, they don't even know what didn't hit them, G.
Bro,
like this.
He had a clutch sports.
G, this whole fucking white power infrastructure in sports is not finna know what the fuck hit them after he get done of taking over the NBA. It's gonna be wild, G. Rich Paul gonna be the commissioner of the NBA one day. We'll be like, what the fuck?
I wouldn't be shocked.
And LeBron gonna own like 2-3 teams. I'm dead ass. I told y'all LeBron playing 2 years ago. Vegas. The Vegas LeBrons. I'm telling you. I was talking to Naomi the other day. I'm like, they gonna call them shits the Vegas Royals, and they gonna put the logo gonna be a crown, G. Trust me, it's happening. It's in the works, bro. That arena look nice as fuck.
What arena in Vegas?
They got a literally the T-Mobile Center is downtown in Vegas. It's literally a whole arena in downtown. I mean, in the strip in Vegas.
It's for basketball.
That's where the Aces play. That's where the Golden Knights play. That's where all the UFC fights be happening. Like, yes, that's a and then like right across the street from that shit is the football stadium. Yeah. It's like, bruh, it's gonna be LeBronville. He just better not go out there and start gambling. He gonna end up like Buddy in the NHL. Did you see that, by the way?
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro out here wild.
Yeah, they probably gonna arrest that man.
While like the Knicks giving 40 that much money, bro. I can't really believe that.
Yeah,
I really can't believe that.
Yeah, but like with the Lakers, I mean,
Semi Ojeleye going to the Bucks. That's good for them. They got some more depth down low.
You saw PJ Tucker left the Heat. Well, no, when the PJ.
I mean, yeah, bye.
Nah, it's not bye, man.
Man, bye, bro.
It's not
bye, bro. You ain't do nothing last year.
I disagree with that.
Out there getting cooked.
I disagree with that.
Out there getting cooked, G. And I love PJ, but he was out there getting cooked, and he wasn't making his corner threes like he usually do.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
He was
to
normal.
You. Pull up his shooting percentages since you love saying that. Pull up his 3-point percentages. Tell me what it was from the corners. Well, actually, you probably can't even do that in a playoff. Info probably ain't even available. But no, he was out there getting. He was out there getting cooked.
Nah, he shot 30. Well, he shot 36% when he was in Houston. He shot 39% when he was in Milwaukee.
In the playoffs
this year, he shot 38%. He shot 39% last year. If you want to I'm lying. He shot 32%. He shot.
Okay, then stop playing. Stop playing,
G. Corners, I'm sure he shot 37% from the corners. That's the only place to take threes from. In the corners, he shot. Where's he shooting? They don't even have it for the playoffs. Adjusted. Yeah, they don't even have it for the playoffs.
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't.
It's all good, but no, PJ was good, but he wasn't that fire.
Wait,
I do think the Pelicans getting Devontae Graham is good. What's gonna be funny is when they wind up
the corner last year in the playoffs this year.
Not fire. These are usually like 40.
His defensive rating was in the playoffs though. It was, let me look real quick.
Only like 116.
His defensive rating was playoffs. It was 110.
Okay, that's not bad. Good job, PJ.
110.
But you're not losing anything. He's a year older. Miami loves putting all these old ass players together, thinking that they're gonna win the championship. Stop, G. Stop. You're not even getting the right old players, bro. Like the fact that they went and just gave Lowry all that money. I'm glad Kyle Lowry, go get your money. But I don't necessarily know if Kyle Lowry is worth that amount of money for what's left of Kyle Lowry.
With no
option. Yeah, it's like what is they starting line gonna be what? Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler.
Oh wait, Duncan Robinson, $90 million. Excuse me?
Worth
90?
Worth it. Shooting. You can't replace his shooting. You can't replace his shooting.
You saw Jimmy. You saw Jimmy also had a Jim.
Yeah, they're betting on this team over the next 4 years, and they're gonna pray to God, Bam, turn into a superstar. They're gonna be sadly mistaken. He's not even better than Chris Bosh.
Who? Bam.
Bam.
I think
he's not even better than Chris Bosh. He's not better than him though now. So like, it's like cool, but whatever. Cody Zeller went to the Blazers. They re-signed Norman Powell, bruh. Dame is finna request a trade like 2 weeks into the season, bruh. He gonna come out there. They gonna probably be lackluster because he not gonna give a goddamn. And then they gonna trade that man. And then he gonna 2 weeks into the season. Yeah, I gave it a try. I want to go. They gonna be like, you gave it a try. What the fuck you mean you gave it a try?
Now I will say the Knicks have tradable assets now. They do have tradable. Like you could match the Evan Fournier deal, D Rose deal. Like they do
for
have
what?
For Dame, if Dame was like, yo, I want to go to the Knicks, and you could just
Yeah, what they gotta do? What they gotta do? Wait 6 months or 90 days, some shit like that.
It's like December 15th. I think it's 90 days.
Okay, so they gonna wait. They gonna wait 90 days and send D Rose and Evan Fournier to Portland. D Rose gonna be mad as hell. He's like, what the fuck, boy?
I mean,
I'm gonna cry laughing. That Portland lineup gonna be low key decent. They gonna put CJ at the 1. Fournier at the 2, and you're gonna have Norman Powell at the 3, and D Rose gonna come off the bench, and low key they gonna get buckets, but that's the point. Like you're not getting anywhere with Dame, so get rid of him. That's the same shit I was saying. That's the same shit I was saying with Steph Curry. And remember, I understand, like I said, from a business perspective, if you're the Warriors, you're keeping him because you need to sell tickets and you need people to watch through the pandemic as the pandemic continues because this shit is not over yet. But at the same point in time, $215 million for Steph Curry is a lot of money, bro.
I don't mind.
That's a lot of money, G.
Because again, I think now granted,
I just hope he's healthy. That's literally. I just hope he's healthy, bro. I just hope he stays healthy. And I obviously get your money. You worth more than that shit. You probably generated $2 billion for him, so get your money. But I just hope he's healthy.
I mean, yes, health is the huge question.
Because I'm a Steph Curry fan and I am a Warriors fan. So I don't just look out for the interests of both of them at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive to me. They're two different entities. I like Steph Curry and I want what's best for Steph Curry. And I like the Warriors and I want what's best for the Warriors. What's best for the Warriors to me was to cut bait with Steph Curry and send him to go and get some more picks so that way you can keep rebuilding this youthful team that you have. What's best for Steph Curry is to stay with the Warriors and get $215 million.
I mean, I personally think that I even think that they still, like I said, even with what they did at the draft, the people they have coming back, like the Warriors, like the Warriors owner said, which is a very rare quote. He wasn't lying. It's just like, why did you say that? When he said,
you mean it wasn't the Warriors, it was the GM.
Yeah, I said,
Bob Myers. You said the owner.
No,
yeah, Bob Myers said that.
Wasn't it the Weiss dude who said that?
No, Bob Myers said that.
Such a very weird quote, but like you're not lying.
He's a team president. Bob Myers said that.
It's just like you're not lying, but it's like, why did you say that? It's a hell of a way to put pressure on the man
coming out for
Achilles and the damn ACL. But
He like, what you want from me, shit.
But yeah, I think, like I said, going back to the Lakers. I mean, I think they did add Wayne Ellington. Kent Bazemore does shoot 40%. What's up?
I'm dumb as hell. I've been sitting there talking through this goddamn mic, and this shit ain't been plugged up the whole time.
But no, they do have also Trevor Ariza. I mean, they did also sign Trevor Ariza. I love bringing Dwight Howard back.
Talk for a minute.
I love bringing Dwight Howard back. I think they should have never let Dwight Howard go in the first place. I think that they probably won't have the number one defense again this season. I don't think they will, but I do still think that when you compare AD and Dwight Howard, Dwight Howard's guy who's won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. I think even if people do get beaten and people do get to the lane, I think that they'll definitely see some resistance once they get there. Also, I think Russ is a guy who this year should average about 2 steals for the Lakers because he can take more chances because of the people that he has behind him. One other team who I think helped themselves today is the Nuggets. They didn't lose anyone, and they also did add Jeff Green. Everywhere Jeff Green has been, he has been a quality acquisition. And not saying that Jokic is LeBron James, but he is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. I remember what Jeff Green did, 3 years ago when he played with LeBron James. So I like bringing in Jeff Green just to give him a little bit more pop off the bench than maybe they've had. So I like bringing in Jeff Green. I think that Jeff Green was a very quality pickup for them. Also, one team I do want to talk about as well, the fucking Spurs. What I don't want to say what are they doing, because I understand what they're trying to do.
They're executing their white privilege.
They're trying to get more shooting and play more up tempo is what I think they're trying to do. I also actually like the Zach Collins pickup if you think that you can keep him upright. If you don't think you can keep him upright, then you just waste the money. But if you think that you can keep him upright, I think that is a deal that he may be able to outplay as long as he's actually on the court. The Dougie McDermott did I thought was cool as well. I don't hate what they did, and maybe you can get Laurie marketing to come over in like a sign and trade. And to me, you would have had a quality free agency in San Antonio, and I think you would have obviously you have no star, but I think that you have a better clear direction of the team you're trying to build. And I think Keldon Johnson being over in USA basketball would do wonders for Kelvin Johnson. I think Kelvin Johnson, not saying he is Kawhi, but I think that he's a guy who in a couple of years can be an extremely positive player and possibly an all-star for the Spurs.
I'm so damn mad, bro.
What's up?
No, it's just like I left all the audio cords with you. So like I literally been in the crib trying to like make shit happen with the audio, bro. I'm sitting here, got the wireless mic joint plugged up, talking to it the whole time. Yeah, sorry, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, the Spurs are executing they white privilege, G, because I have no idea what the hell they doing.
I mean, I get what they're doing.
I don't get what they're doing.
And they want to play fast, and they're adding shooting. And they actually probably need
who's the star of their team?
Keldon Johnson. In theory.
That's the dude that was that's in the Olympics?
Yeah.
They're about to be a bottom 6 team in the league.
Probably. I'm not even
gonna say what I want to say. But go ahead.
Probably, but I mean, you're at the point where the Spurs, where it's like it's over. You have to completely rebuild, tear it down, and rebuild. That's why you're letting Patty Mills go. You're letting DeMar go. You're letting some of those older guys go because it's just actually time to rebuild. It's over with, bro. The whole 25 years of prosperity you share with it is done. You need to get younger, find some new people. Like they even play differently. They play up tempo now. When the hell the Spurs ever played up tempo? I think they would
about time. About time.
I mean, yeah. So it's like, but it's like I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get younger, get more shooting because I don't think they had enough shooting last year at all. I think they took the least threes in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong about that? Or was that like the year before? Let me ask you.
You got a whole computer in front of you, Jew. You've been doing this since we started this show. You asked me a question about a stat, and then you got a whole computer in front of you.
21st in offensive rating. They were 15th in pace. They were 20th in points per game. And yes, they ranked literally last in 3-point attempts. Last.
Okay. And
Last
shout out
in
to Doug
3-point
McDermott,
attempts.
because Bulls fans, we hated that pick. And Dougie McBuckets low key has had a decent career. Not as a Bull, but he did have a decent career.
Bulls always do that. Players lead the Bulls and have decent careers. Ron Artest leaves the Bulls one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Jamal Crawford leaves the Bulls one of the best 6 men of all time. And we can go down the list. Bobby Portis leaves the Bulls, Hall of Fame worthy Game 6. Savior of Game 6.
Go to hell.
He was savior of Game 6.
You gotta stop, G.
What you mean? He was the only man with Giannis for like 3 quarters, G.
Bro.
He was the only man with Giannis for like 3 quarters. There was 2 things I can remember about that game. Bobby Portis and Giannis. When it's all said and done, I saw what I saw from Bobby.
Yeah, I also saw that he re-signed 2 years, $9 million. I heard him say numerous times during the playoffs that money isn't everything, but damn, Bobby. Bobby, you gave up at least, you gave up at least $10 to $15 million. Probably even $20 million. He probably could have got like two years, $30 million from somebody.
But what were the other teams showing interest? They mentioned, I think it was like the Heat. Well, I don't think the Heat have no state tax, so Florida would have been cool. But
yeah,
he's gonna eat for free in Milwaukee. You know,
I don't really believe that eat for free shit is real. I think that's some shit we tell ourselves for like a month, and then that's it. He ain't eat for free nowhere.
Nah, bro. I think
he gonna eat. Hold on, wait. He gonna eat $6 million from meals.
Shit, you never know, G.
Boy,
either way, though, for him, I think, you know, when you bounce around a little bit, like he kind of has, and you know, like what his career was before he came to the Bucks, as what it probably is going forward, and also it's a player option after this year. So if he completely just outplays that deal, he can decline a player option, go into free agency, and hopefully he recoups more next year. So I don't hate that deal for him. For him, it's probably just about being comfortable, man. Like you like where you at, and you just want to be comfortable.
I feel you, but no. Get the money, G. It's only so much of it. Spencer Dinwiddie is signing a deal with the Washington Wizards as well. What do you think about that?
For how much money?
Woj didn't report it. He just said that he's nearing a deal with the Washington Wizards.
Is it a sign and trade?
And why you just can't? I don't know. It says Spencer Dinwiddie is nearing a deal with the Washington Wizards, and Otto Porter just signed with the Warriors.
Great pickup for the Warriors. Or
he signed with the Warriors. Gabe Vincent signed to return to Miami as well.
Who?
Yeah. Otto Porter turned down a mid-level exception elsewhere to play for the Warriors at the minimum.
Okay.
Stupid, bro. Stupid. That don't make sense, G.
Deal to play with the Kings.
I don't get that, bro. What is Otto gonna do there? They still have Oubre and Wiggins, and they got 2 rookies. And they got 2. Well, he was unrestricted free agent.
I think so. Okay. I think Oubre.
They still have Wiggins. They still have Wiggins and two wings they drafted, bro.
Yeah, but it's like you don't know if those wings are gonna be ready come playoff time.
Gee,
you at least trust Otto Porter. What is veteran. And Otto isn't bad. Otto's issue is staying healthy.
I never said he was bad. I'm wondering why the hell would he do that?
Because you think you got a chance to win a ring.
You're not winning a ring. I am so sick of people talking about the Warriors and winning rings, G. They're not winning a ring, G. Like I said, the Warriors win a ring this year. I'm going to tattoo this man Stephen Curry face right here on my chest, G. It's not happening.
I'm just saying. I mean, but then we need to Washington. I hope it. To me, I think it has to be a sign and trade. And if it's a sign and trade, and you can get some of those assets from the Lakers over there, as like Kuzma, or you get like a Trez, and I think the Nets are a team that just got much better. And you saw the Nets re-sign Blake as well.
The Nets didn't get much better. How they get much better? Explain that.
Listen. I said if the Dinwiddie thing is a sign and trade, and you get some of those assets that the Wizards have, like you get a Kuzma and you get a Trez, or even if you get a KCP to come over in that, then I think you got much better adding Kuz, adding a KCP, or adding a Trez to your bench, along with retaining Blake Griffin as well. If that were to happen.
No.
We don't know the details yet.
I'm pretty sure it's just so he just signed with them, bro. He was finna just outright sign with the Mavericks, but they decided to pay Tim Hardaway Jr. And who else did the Mavericks sign? I
forgot. Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, and Reggie Bullock.
Which
I agree with both signings, because both of those signings are shooters. They needed shooting around. They needed more shooting around Luka, and I think Luka likes Tim Hardaway Jr. and they didn't want to get rid of TJ if they didn't need to. I also think TJ would be better with Jason Kidd as his coach. And I think that even them keeping Boban will probably be there for the next 2-3 years, because basically they're saying he signed his deal so that way he could get his bird rights, because this will be his third year with the team. So out of the available free agents, we got Reggie Jackson still available. Dennis Schroeder still on the board. Patty Mills is rumored to go to either the Lakers or the Nets. We have Bruce Brown, who's a restricted free agent. Ish Smith, Danny Green, JJ Redick is still on the market. Kelly Oubre, DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, Josh Hart is a restricted free agent. Otto Porter just signed with the Warriors. As mentioned, these are all per Bobby Marks tweets where you send people that's left. Andre Drummond still on the board. Birch still on the board. Enes Kanter, Robin Lopez, Melo, and then Laurie and John Collins are both. They still haven't gotten offers yet. So, what are your thoughts on Laurie and John Collins? Actually,
I can't see a situation. Well, I can't see, but I mean, I think it would be smart. The Hawks. Here's the issue with the Hawks. Like I even tweeted during the playoffs. The Hawks are going to be at the position where you're going to start to have to pay a lot of people. And I don't know if the Hawks are going to want to pay all that money for all these people. You're just not going to pay Trae Young $200 million, basically. You already have Clay Capella, 4 years, 84, but I think it may be like 2 years left on that deal. I think they just signed somebody else at the backup as well, if I'm not mistaken. They signed a backup center as well today, I think. I could be wrong, but I think they just signed a backup center as well. Regardless, though, you got DeAndre Hunter coming up, I think, next year. He's probably going to have to get a deal. Did they trade Cam Reddish?
Who?
The Hawks. Did they trade Cam Reddish on draft night?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Let me look.
I don't think they did. No, they didn't trade. Did they trade Cam Reddish?
No, they didn't trade Cam Reddish.
No, they didn't trade Cam Reddish. I was going to say, I didn't hear about a trade for him.
But he's another guy who is going to become. My point is, they have a lot of guys who are coming up for contract. So John Collins may be a casualty within all of that, because I think John Collins, based off his playoff performance last year, is worth $100-some million. But do you, as the Hawks, want to spend all this money to retain all of these guys?
Nah.
But I do think John Collins will be worthwhile for them. I think that he's Trae Young's probably favorite lob threat. He can shoot the ball. He doesn't really have much of a post game, but you don't really need that, because Trae is going to be dominating the ball and doing most of the ball handling anyway. You also have Bogdanovich. You still have Gallo. They're spending a lot of money in Atlanta.
Yes, because that's what they have to do.
But do you want to? Is what I'm saying. Do you want to?
It doesn't matter. It's what you have to do. You got a barbershop in your arena, G. You got to keep people in there.
I think as long as you got Trae, you're gonna keep people in there. He gonna shoot.
Yeah, but you only gonna have him if you building a good team around him.
I mean, like, yes, but again, they're like, with as long as Trae can continue to get better and these guys are there, they're gonna be a playoff team. Now, there's a difference between a playoff team and a championship level team. Also, how much stock do you put into the run that you made last year? You don't want to make the same mistake that Portland made a couple years ago. Remember when they went to the conference finals? Because I think the Clippers got hurt.
Yeah,
they went to the conference finals. You pay Allen Kraft $74 million. They pay Evan Turner $70-some million. You pay all these people money, but your team wasn't actually that good. You just overreacted to the success you had. I think John Collins.
I don't think you can overreact. If you pay John Collins, then you're not overreacting.
I agree.
You staying in line with what you should be doing, which is paying the guys that have done right by your team.
I agree.
Like he played up to par. He outplayed. Well, not to say he outplayed, but he kept pace with Joel Embiid for a series. and that allowed them to propel the team forward and win. John Collins, he didn't outplay him, but he did keep pace. Joel Embiid didn't grossly outplay John Collins in that series. He didn't grossly outplay Clint Capella. And Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons together, I don't think they did. I don't think they outplayed John Collins and Clint Capella in that series, and I think that's why they lost.
I'm not arguing with you.
So if I'm Atlanta, I'm not mad at it. It just depends on him and Trey. Like, have you all really hashed out the issues that you had? Because if you still have those issues, or were those issues strictly just because one named Lloyd Pierce was in charge of things? Fair. You feel me?
Yeah.
So if it depends, if the frustration and the communication issues and the problems were just in regards to Lloyd Pierce, then fine. But if they weren't just in regards to Lloyd Pierce and they were in regards to something personal, then yes, we need to let him walk because we need to protect Trey. But other than that, give him his money. I don't think like, how does that hurt them? The fact that you have two guys that could potentially be all-stars next year.
I don't think it does. I just said, do they want to spend that much money because they do have a lot of people's deals coming up that you might want to pay.
But they have an arena. Atlanta is a city that's popping now. You have physical production in Atlanta going through the roof. You should want to keep that arena full, keep the fans excited, and keep Trae Young happy. And the only way you do all those things is you perennially have the opportunity to contend. Even this year, like, they weren't a great team, and I didn't think that they were going to make the finals. But they were still contenders, whether we like it or not. They were a Final Four team. So they were contenders. So you have to keep a contender out there. You let John Collins go, I don't think they have a contender anymore. I think they have a team that is going to struggle to make the playoffs.
I think they make the playoffs, but I think they'll make the playoffs.
I said they'll struggle to. I didn't say that they wouldn't. I just think they will struggle. They'll, rather than being 4 or 5, they'll wind up being 7-8.
That's fair.
And 7-8 is not a step forward. You should want to propel and go forward. So, that's just my personal opinion on that.
That's fair. The Clippers, Nick Batum is back, which I actually was but I think that was big for them. Like, he was probably outside of maybe Jeremy Grant, anybody who wasn't a star, he might have been the best free agent acquisition for his role, for what he did. He really starred in his role. So I think him coming back is huge, especially with Kawhi's status uncertain. You don't know if he's gonna number one be back, and two, if he is back, when does he come back? Is it 2020, 2022, 23, or is it sometime next season? I think that was big. Reggie Jackson, I don't know what happens with Reggie Jackson because I don't actually know how much money Reggie Jackson commands. I don't know how, and then like
none. Bobby Marks was saying of ESPN was saying before the season that Reggie Jackson would probably at the most get $10 to $12 million on the market a year, and that the Clippers can't pay him that much money. They can only pay him like a vet minimum or something like that to keep him.
So it lies on him of like how close his friendship really is with. I mean, I'm not saying they're not friends, but like how much he values his friendship with one PG and the relationships that he's made in that locker room. Do you value that, or do you want to try to get? I don't want to say one last payday, but do you want to try to get a payday from somebody, or do you value the relationships that you've made in LA over that? And also, where's left? Like what? Like who is left at this point? Like what teams are left?
Yeah, true. You're right. I mean, yeah.
Like everything kind of filled up pretty quick. Like this free agency, everything. Some free agencies where it's like everybody's waiting on one person to sign, then everything else, like the Kawhi year, when people kind of like waiting on Kawhi to sign, and then everything else kind of like fell down like instantly. Like
I mean, Reggie can return, but also at the same time, Kawhi still hasn't resigned.
Kawhi has not resigned,
and he said he's going to take it and listen to teams. So we could, reasonably, although they say he's negotiating, we could randomly wake up one morning and he not be a Clipper.
This is true.
And there have been a ton of sign and trades happening. Because people
signing trades,
but you already know why it is because the cap didn't go up because of the pandemic. So teams are not trying to go into the luxury tax, which is what happens after the second year of them going over the cap. So they're trying to even stuff out. Like even the Wizards, by signing Spencer Dinwiddie, which he got 3 years, $60 million. They're now over the cap by $9.5 million, according to Bobby Marks. So according to Bobby Marks, they're over $9.5 million with a mid-level exception left. So that team is pretty much kind of set in stone now. Which actually, that Wizards team next year, I think will be a playoff contender. I think they might wind up being like a 5-6 seed because you're gonna wind up having Dinwiddie a starting point guard. You're gonna wind up having Bill. What do you put? Kuzma at the 3, Rui at the 4, Thomas Bryant at the 5, and then who you bringing off the bench for Washington? Trez. Yeah. Actually, you might put Daniel Gafford at the 5.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
you might put Daniel. It depends on how good Rui looks when he comes back.
But
you might put Daniel Gafford.
Thomas. I mean,
no. Because he tore his ACL, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
I honestly would probably put him on the bench with Trez and be like, yo, y'all see if y'all can wreak havoc.
Fair.
Who is their point guard off the bench?
I mean, it was Ish Smith, but he's a free agent.
I might re-sign Ish Smith if he want to take that veterans mid-level exception. I think it's $9.5 million.
Raul Neto as well.
Actually, fuck it. Put Raul Neto and Trez in the pick and roll. That's fine. Off the bench. And then you have Thomas Bryant as well. He can score in the interior. I think that's a decent little team for them.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think Bradley Beal's deal runs out next year. So I'm sure you're going to hear a whole bunch of Bradley Beal trade rumors from now until free agency because his deal runs out. So it's like, what does Bradley Beal – I think, if I'm not mistaken, it runs out next year. So it's like, yo, what does Bradley Beal want to do? So I'm sure you're going to hear a whole bunch of rumors. Can we talk about Boston? What's going on in Boston right now? Marcus Smart.
What do you mean what's going on in Boston?
Marcus Smart wants, I think, another extension. They lost Kemba. Well, they traded Kemba. They also lost Fournier, who they traded for. You lost Fournier. You have Tatum. Obviously, you have Brown, but it seems like the team around them has kind of withered away for good or bad. I think it can be good. It leaves more shots for Tatum and like also more shots for Brown. And I do think you probably had too many hands in the pot in previous years. But what do you think about the Celtics? Like have they kind of like fallen by the wayside in the Eastern Conference to you?
I don't care about the Celtics, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. So like if they did, good. But I personally think that they did what needed to be done for them. And what needed to be done for them was that they needed to shed all of those bad contracts that they had, like Kemba's and Tristan Thompson. And they needed to just make the focus and put the focus and the emphasis on trying to get younger and hopefully building around Brown and Tatum over the next 3 to 4 years. I think you're looking at both of those guys as being the cornerstones. I think what you tell them now is, look, there is no one that can take the ball out of your hands anymore. So go be Scotty and Mike, and we're going to surround you. And I still think that they have the ability to get some free agents. I even think that, even of the free agents that I mentioned earlier, going out and getting a guy like Birch to be our starting center and then going and throwing and trying to and even getting a guy like Ish Smith. I don't think that they need to add a ton of stuff because I've watched them in person, and Brad Stevens is like a pop type in terms of being able to get the best out of Lease. I would hope that the new coach is able to do that same thing. But even with that being said, you have Jason Tatum, who everybody keep telling me is going to be the best American-born player in the NBA. All right, cool. I'm waiting to see it. And then Jaylen Brown, who we saw flashes of greatness from last year, but then he got hurt, and we didn't get to see him in the playoffs the way that we wanted to. If I'm them, I'm betting on my two guys, and we're gonna figure it out. Like if y'all the real stallions and the real deal, like we thought you guys were, then we shouldn't have any issue. You guys should honestly get better because there's less people in your way.
That's fair. Like I said,
Tatum should be a 30-point per game scorer this year, and Jaylen Brown. Actually, it depends. Whichever one, because last year I thought Jaylen Brown was better than Tatum. So one of them needs to be a 28, 29 point per game scorer this year, and the other one needs to be a 26, 27 point per game scorer this year. And I think that'd be fine. Play defense.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's that's honestly what I think. I think that I don't think they're in a bad spot because you still technically have two of the best young players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also really like Super Small, but I love JaVale being picked up by the Suns. I think the one thing that they really needed was rim protection. Like it's been so many times in which I see just when Aiden go. First of all, Aiden's not even a rim protector himself, but definitely when Aiden goes off the court, it's just like a layup line in Phoenix. I think at least JaVale McGee can offer some level of resistance, even if it's for 15, 16 minutes. Come in and just block a shot, bro. Make people at least think about driving to the rim. And I think that'll be big for them. I do think losing Torrey Craig was not ideal. Torrey Craig, I think, got picked up by the Pacers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
think the
he
Pacers
did.
picked him up. The Pacers did decent as well, like picking up Torrey Craig, re-signing Doug McDermott, getting a new coach. They didn't really lose anything. I think the Pacers, if everybody is healthy, can be a sleeper team in the East next year, in my personal opinion.
I'm not mad at that. But I'm not mad at it. I mean, it depends. But like I said, it's still guys available to be had. I don't even necessarily think that any of these teams necessarily need a big piece. The only big piece that could monumentally shift things in the NBA is Kawhi Leonard. At this point,
and even monumentally shift things next year. That's monumentally.
Yeah, but he can monumentally shift him by saying he's leaving the Clippers to go to another team, because then that team is going to sign and trade, which means the Clippers are going to have a completely different team, and so are whoever the other team is. Yeah, so I mean that's really the only thing, because Dame requesting this trade request, like, it's nothing to do with free agency. So it's going to be interesting to see what it is. And kind of where we actually go from here. What I want to ask you is, who do you think was the biggest loser in free agency?
The biggest loser on day one of free agency, like team.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think didn't make the moves that was necessary that they needed to make?
Who didn't make any moves? I mean, number one, I think players probably Dennis Schroeder. I mean, I think, like we just discussed, he bet on himself, and I don't necessarily know if that turned out the way he thought it was going to turn out. But as far as team, I mean, I don't know. Maybe a team like maybe the Jazz.
This man, Lil Durk named Lonzo the Chance.
I'm crying. But no, maybe like the Jazz. Like, I don't think the Jazz got better. They let Favors go. They re-signed Conley, but I don't think they got any better at all. Like, what did they do to get better for a team that was a number one seed? I don't think they got better. I don't think they got worse, but I don't think they got better.
I just think they re-up and said, we're just going to try it again next year.
But yeah, but you re-up. Yeah, but you re-up and now, but now who's your backup center? You don't have one anymore.
There's still options available on that's what I'm saying. Like, even going and getting a guy like Birch, bro. Like, they traded away Derek Favors, if I'm correct. Yes. Right, just go get a guy like Birch.
Fair.
Like literally, he does all of the dirty work. He doesn't do nothing else but dirty work, and he can stretch out a little bit beyond 12 feet. Fair.
I'm not mad at that. I also don't think the Knicks did themselves any favors either. Just with spending all the money, it felt like at a certain point they were just spending money because they had money to spend. I think the only way the Knicks did themselves a favor is if a guy like Dame requests a trade. Now I think that they have the assets to present a favorable package to somebody.
What's the favorable package?
I'm not thinking you could maybe pair Fournier if you wanted to pay RJ. Pair RJ, you could pay Fournier, RJ, Nerlens, something, and some picks. I think they have a favorable
for who?
For Dame. Mitchell Robinson is still there. Like, I think they have pieces of favorable thing where, like, you could pair for a Dame or even for a Bradley Beal if Bradley Beal decides he wants to be traded. I think they have favorable pieces that they could pair for something.
Yeah.
Even if you want to pair Randall, I think Randall is he signed a team, so he has to re-up next year for like his actual contract. Like, they have pieces that like you can pair for a Dame if you get forced if the Blazers get their hand forced around All-Star break. We're not really hand forced because he signed for like 4 or 5 years, so it's not hand forced in per se. But
it's not hand. You ain't forcing nobody hand when you make $200 million.
And when you locked in for 3 some years before you even get an option. So it's not forcing nobody's hand, but if both sides decide that they want to mutually move in a different way.
You know what? You know what destination I wouldn't be surprised if Dame goes to? And this is my sleeper. The Nuggets. And this is why I say this. Listen, they signed JaMychal, they signed Jeff Green back, right? Michael Porter Jr. is coming up on a restricted free agent deal. And I was watching NBA, like the NBA TV earlier, and they was having this argument about, do you pay Michael Porter Jr. because players historically, like with back issues, you never know when the back is going to go. And I was thinking, that's actually not a bad sell to Portland. Like, yo, we'll wind up giving you Michael Porter Jr.'s hella picks and whoever you want, and then Dame get to go play with Jokic. If I'm Dame, like that might not necessarily be where I wanted to go, but that's not a bad destination going to Denver. You get to play with Jokic, who an MVP. If you, Dame, could maybe extend your career, you might be able to get your jersey retired by 2 historic franchises in the NBA, in the Nuggets and in the Blazers. Like, I'm not mad at that.
Do you
if for Portland, you basically bet on Michael Porter Jr. And if he turned out to be cold, you got CJ and Norman Powell there, and you still got Anthony Simon. I give you listen. Well, he can't stay. I'll give you Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. I'll give you Jeff Green's contract, JaMychal Green's contract, and I'll give you 3 first-round picks, 1 next year, 2 in the first. No, I'm serious. That's for Denver. That's a great deal.
Yeah, for Portland, it's a great deal.
Yeah, give him back and give me and do they say have Nasir Little on their team?
Yeah, they do.
Give me Nasir Little, because I think he would actually do well with a player like Jokic, because he could just do the dirty work that Jokic don't want to do.
It's a great.
I'm dead ass. Like it's not. It might not be a favorable destination, but I think that might be a great destination for Dame. And Dame playing with Jokic, that's a championship contender to me. Because now it's you can't double Dame, you can't double Jokic.
Yeah. That pick is ignorant.
Super ignorant.
What do you asking?
Yeah, and then giving up Jeff Green and JaMychal, like both of them signed 2-year low ball contracts. I don't really want to give up Porter Jr. and Jamal, but it is what it is. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. And then that way in off season, hopefully we should. I think Dame and Jokic's salary shouldn't be that much. You should be able to go out and get a 3rd star if you want to, or at least get some third.
Yeah, third. You could for sure get some 3rd out.
Yeah. Like, I'm just saying. So that's just a wild random thought to end it. But final words for this episode.
Nah, man. I just want to see where all this keeps going. I want to see who else the Lakers can add. I want to see what Kawhi Leonard does. I want to see what finally becomes of Schroeder and Drummond.
Clippers are now interested in DeRozan, by the way.
They're interested in DeRozan.
Yeah, which is actually interesting. But if he comes back on less money, that's gonna be kind of wild.
How is he getting to the Clippers though? How much can the Clippers
probably actually might be a sign and trade. His would be a sign and trade because he's been trying to find a sign and trade, I believe.
Who would they trade? Terrence Mann?
I would trade Ibaka's contract because he opted in. I would trade Ibaka's. Yeah. I would trade Ibaka's contract and whatever they want. Gee, what you want? Who you want? Take him. I don't care about nobody not named Paul George.
Fair.
Take him.
Fair.
Because by the way, the Clippers are not going to be great next year. I just want to say this right now. They're going to be a very middle of the road team, and people are going to be like, "What? I can't believe Paul George is not that good." It's like, bro, this team is not going to be fired next year. They got no Lou Will, no Trez. Rondo probably not coming back. Ibaka coming back off back surgery. Kawhi is hurt. Like, what? Bro, it's going to look crazy. They start lineup going to wind up being like Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Paul George, Marcus Morris, and Zubac. Gee, that is not a championship winning roster. That's not a championship contending roster. That's like a 7-8 seed, bro. It's going to get Bubba Sparks ugly.
The most that they can hope for is that some of the young guys that they picked up take a step, like Luke Kennard takes a step because he'll actually get consistent playing time. You hope maybe Terrence Mann can take a step, and you just hope PG has an MVP caliber year, and you finish like 5, 6, and 4, 5, 6, and yeah, that's
Get
probably
your
what
ass
they can hope
cooked.
for. But yes, it's definitely going to be a struggle. I think coming out the gates for the Clippers next year. And again, guys got to stay healthy as well. PG also got to stay healthy as well.
Yeah.
PG go out there and miss 2 weeks. Oh Lord.
It's gonna be bad either way. But it is what it is at this point. Like you bet on you double down and you bet on Kawhi, you bet on Luke, you bet on Marcus, and now it is what it is. You gotta live with it. But yeah, man, it's your boy TPJ. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ. Sorry if my audio was bad for the first half of the episode. I don't think did I sound bad to you?
Nah, you just sound like a computer mic, but it's not bad.
Okay, well, did it still sound like that?
Kinda.
Oh well. Sorry it sounded bad. That was my fault. Next time I'm gonna get the XLR cord. Keep one with me. But yeah, man, it's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram. At least Pappy still sounded good this episode. I look good this episode though. That's all I can say. Is, like if you watch us on TV, I look decent. Like the connection look good. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. It's your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Drop a like if you listen to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Music. Or Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, don't be afraid to drop a rating on there. Let us know your opinion, your feedback. As always, this show co-stars rapper extraordinaire Pappy. Go ahead and talk to people. Let them know what you got going on, my friend.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter at Pavyworld, Pavyworld, all one word. Go check out the Soft Lips video. Go check out also Skywalker is out now, which is the Happy Hour theme song. Is out. It's on YouTube. I'll actually post it in the community. If you guys didn't see it, go check that out. And yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Also, by the way, I dropped a new single. It might be out right now, or it might be out tomorrow. But go get that. Now. It's called Champion. Oh, it's out now? Okay. Well, I dropped a new single. Okay. Well, I dropped a new single. It's called Champion. Go listen to that. Find my music at SPKR on all your streaming. My new album is gonna drop August 31st. So make sure y'all stay in tune for that. And if you haven't heard my song Oceanside Therapy, turn that on when you with your lady, or if you're a lady, turn it on when you with your guy. Sip a little bit of that wine, get some of them vibes in, feel like you by the oceanside. It's your boy TPJ. Until next time, we will get it with you guys. As always, do not drink and drive. If you're under the age of 21, you better not be fucking drinking unless you're in Canada. Don't do it. It's wrong. If you're over the age of 21, please always drink in moderation as always. And until next time, it's your boy Pappy and TPJ at Hoops and Brews. We'll get up with you. Peace.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah.